Merry Yule and Gott New Year, as we close the chapter of 2023 and prepare ourselves for the crazy mess that will be 2024. I thought it would be fun to retrospectively look back at all the platinum trophies I got this year and discuss them a bit more in detail and at the end rank them. Some trophies I have made videos on already and you have hopefully seen on my channel, and some I have just chipped away at in the background. So anyway, hello good folks of YouTube and welcome to this year-end review. The year started off with me finally getting around to finishing off the trophies for Unravel. Unravel is a game that I had about 40% completion on for the longest time, but never found the time to complete it. This game ended up being a part of the attempt to stream my platinum trophies over on Twitch. I soon realized that putting my trophy hunting behind the streaming took away my enjoyment of getting platinums. It ended up feeling like I had to stream in order to get trophies, and that just wasn't healthy for me, as I would end up not playing games when I wanted to because I felt like, I need to stream, but I'm not in the mood to stream right now. Luckily, I found another solution that we'll get to later on in the video, and if you haven't seen any videos on my channel this year, it's a reason to believe you have seen what I'm talking about. Anyway, the trophy for Unravel was really good. I do recommend everyone to test out this game. It was surprisingly emotional at times and also really difficult in certain areas, which made for a great experience. I know that there is a second game in this series, and I do own that game if I recall correctly, so hopefully I can get to that sometime in the future. I guess it all depends on what the wheel decides. The second platinum of the year was Hogwarts Legacy. I think this is one of the first times in recent memory that I have started a game of this magnitude as soon as it released and finished it 100% without starting something else in the meantime. I'm usually a person that drops the games frequently and picks them back up later. It's a real problem I have and a reason for creating the wheel and having started to create videos about platinum journeys. It was to force myself to complete games before starting new ones, holding myself accountable that I needed to finish something before I start something else. Have I gotten better at it? Maybe, but I still have started a few games this year and not finished them. No Man's Sky, Injustice 2, Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom and Baldur's Gate 3 springs to mind. So I still have some way to go before I'm really good at actually completing the games I start. Perhaps I have my New Year's resolution right there. What were we talking about again? Yes, the platinum for Hogwarts Legacy. This game was simultaneously everything I could have wanted out of a Hogwarts game, and a disappointment. Hear me out. I loved everything about the exploration of Hogwarts and Hogsmeade, the secrets that was all around, and the sense of magic and wonder that it instilled in me. As someone who has read the books, seeing all the little details and references that we never saw in the movies being presented was such an awesome feeling. Also, the combat was surprisingly enjoyable and you could create some pretty cool combos in there. However, the scope disappointed me quite a bit. The final half of the game mostly takes place outside of Hogwarts and outside of the magical places we know and love. The open world aspect of the game somewhat hindered the game and didn't serve much purpose other than being an arena for more collectibles and...
Could it be a Merlin trial?
Drop half of those activities, focus more on exploration in Hogwarts, and you would easily have had a 10 out of 10 games in my eyes. This one is probably a 7 or 8 for me. Still a good game, but it could have been so much more. The day after my Hogwarts Legacy journey came to an end, I still had that platinum itch. So I finally booted up this classic I had heard so much good about and got to town. I'm of course talking about Donut County. A very short and fun puzzle game that only took a few hours to platinum. It was a real nice palate cleanser after the long Hogwarts journey, and did not overstay its welcome. I was a big fan of writing and of the puzzles. I even had some difficulties with the final boss fight trophy, taking a couple of times for me to finally get, but overall very easy game and very doable platinum trophy. This is also a game that I can really recommend people to play. It's short, it's sweet, and it's usually dirt cheap. We're so close to getting to the start of the journey you all know, But before I get to that, I finally got around to finishing up LEGO DC Supervillains. I love LEGO games. I probably have said it before, and I'll probably say it plenty of times later on, but they really are my guilty pleasure. I am a sucker for collectathons, puzzle games, platformers, and action games. And wouldn't you know, LEGO games usually are a combination of all those things. It's not the best LEGO game I've ever played, but it's by far not the worst either. You see, LEGO games in recent memory have gotten a bit too big in my opinion. They are usually accompanied by some obscure collectibles or breakables that are hidden very good in a big open world, which makes them really annoying to track down. I have platinum LEGO Batman 3 before, and whilst that game is a bigger offender of this crime, this game is almost passing a threshold of too big. That could also be me looking at the LEGO games of yesteryears and reminiscing about the good old days when there were no voice acting, and for me, those games were just better. I haven't played one of them in ages though. Maybe that will be on the agenda for next year. Nevertheless, the story of this game is great. The characters are awesome, the level design is as tight as always, and the journey was solid. If you are a LEGO fan and haven't played this one yet, I do recommend checking this one out. We have finally made it to Ratchet & Clank for the PlayStation 3. The first video of the rebirth of my road to the Platinum Trophy videos. Man, oh man, have I missed out. This was my first proper introduction to the world of Ratchet, and it did not disappoint in the slightest. That first playthrough was magical. It made me fall in love with the characters and gameplay. Even though the Platinum journey has some annoying roadblocks, by the third playthrough I was feeling done with the game. It can't be understated how good this game is. It is easily one of my favorite Platinums of the year, and of the currently 37 Platinums I have to my name, I think this one makes at least top 10. One of the first videos of 2024 will probably be Ratchet & Clank 2 Going Commando, so be on the lookout for that one. And finally, we are here. The first Platinum of the wheel. I love this creation, and a huge shout out to MayorHairBear for the concept and for just being a huge inspiration in general. If you have watched my content and love Platinum journeys, I definitely recommend checking out his channel. Links are in the description. I still remember the feeling leading up to this moment. I had spun the wheel a couple of times in my spare time before I recorded actual selection, as I was just really excited to get started on this concept. And when I finally pressed record, spun the wheel, and saw Spiritfarer show up, I was so happy. Like I mentioned in that video, Spiritfarer was a game I'd been hyped about for a long time. I got my little sister it for her Nintendo Switch, as I knew she would love it, and a year later I got around to it myself. A masterpiece. It's probably one of, if not the only, resource gathering, farming, Animal Crossing-esque, call it whatever you want, game I have liked and finished. It is not my genre at all, but somehow this game just spoke to me. I wasn't joking when I said that it made me deal with some of my inner demons and a sense of loss, as the characters are that well written. I wish I could forget it and play it again, without the thought on the Platinum Trophy. As a Platinum and Endgame somewhat hampered overall enjoyment of the game, not a lot, but slightly. But the takeaway here should be, go play this game. Go play this masterpiece. Around this time, summer had rolled in, and during my vacation I worked on two things. One was the next Platinum on this list, and the other was to finally finishing up Horizon Zero Dawn. I was literally at 80% completion for about 3 years before I said, it's time to finish this shit. I love the world of Horizon. Aloy is one of my favorite protagonists of a video game ever, and the sense of wonder and intrigue I got from playing this game for the first time hasn't really been rivaled since. I remember playing through it and wondering how everything fit together, utilizing all my weapons to take down the giant machines using tripwires and elemental bombs, and yes, collecting all the collectibles in the world. The reason I didn't get the platinum back then was because I had the definitive edition, which came with all the DLC. So when I unlocked skills, I unlocked skills from the wrong skill tree. So instead of popping the trophy for getting the skills in the main game, I popped the trophy for getting all the skills for the Frozen Wilds DLC. That just demoralized me back then, and I didn't want to touch the game until this summer, like I said. I'm glad I finally got around to this though, as having it unfinished on my page really bothered me. Not anymore though, and I am looking forward to playing Forbidden West at some point in the future. We're back to the games that I have gotten a video now though. The next platinum that was gotten soon after Horizon Zero Dawn was Spider-Man Miles Morales. I feel like I spoke my feelings pretty good in the video I made, so if you want more in-depth analysis, go watch that one. It was a very enjoyable game that felt like standalone DLC and not a new game. It doesn't involve any of the ideas brought up in the first Spider-Man game, but introduces some new wrinkles to the lore and combat that was very enjoyable for what it was. Spider-Man 2 is on my to-do list, so maybe that is something that will also happen next year. Like I said, many platinums in the works. You should stay subscribed so you don't miss out on them. Here we are, end of the year. Honestly, had hopes I would be able to get at least 10 platinums this year, but university got in the way of time and morale for making videos. As I'm sitting here writing the script for this video and the script for the game I'm about to talk about, I can still feel the demoralization that this last 6 months of school have taken on me. So, that is why we end the year on 9 platinums. What a game to end it on. Once again, back with a wheel, and this was a hidden gem. Dragon Star Vanir is a turn-based dungeon crawling visual novel. Those combination of genres shouldn't work. They shouldn't, but they do. This is such a wonderful game. The story was gripping, and some of the endings had me flipping out, man. Everything has a purpose in this game, and it ties together the story with the gameplay mechanics in such a unique way. The game is incredibly anime, with a big titties with unnecessary jiggle physics and all. It does have fan service in that regards, but besides some scenes that has what I feel can be classified as forced fan service, the game stayed away from that, which I quite liked. It didn't fit the tone of this game to have a lot of fan service. I'm currently working on a video for Dragon Star Vanir, but it's going to be a long one. I have so much I want to say about this game because it blew me away so much during my first playthrough. Problem is that it's a very story heavy game, so it's a problem to go through this game and actually talk about the trophies without talking about the story. So it's a really long video. It's shaping up to be the longest one on my channel, but I hope you're excited for it because this game is just that good. So the final verdict, without spoiling too much, is just go play it. Go play this game now. It's that good. You're doing a disservice by not playing it. Before I wrap up, I want to rank these trophies. Can't quite make a top 10 video, as I only have 9 plats to my name this year, but a quick ranking at the end of this one should suffice. Coming in at number 9 is Donut County. The game was too short to justify ranking it higher, but it was a solid experience, like I said. In number 8, we have LEGO DC Supervillains. It did overstay its welcome a bit towards the end, with some of the untrackable collectibles being a pain in the ass to find, hampering my enjoyment of the game. Number 7 is Unravel. Yarny is a precious being that needs to be protected, but beating the game without dying once was a bullshit challenge and caused me way too much stress. Other than that, it was wonderful and needs to be experienced. From here on in, I had a hard time choosing the definitive order. Ask me again tomorrow and it might have changed. But number 6 is Spider-Man Miles Morales. Yes, I can hear you already shouting, but I couldn't justify putting it higher. The fact that it was just more Spider-Man is why I really like this game. But the fact that it was just Spider-Man but a bit worse is what kept it so far down the list for me. Also, maybe a bit of a shock, number 5 is Spiritfarer. Even though this is my favorite management farming game, it is still a management farming game, and I do get quickly bored of them. The characters and music is what makes this game a truly magical experience, and why it gets the number 5 spot. It almost pains me to say this, but number 4, and missing out on top 3, is Horizon Zero Dawn. It only gets beaten by the fact that it is ages since I got the majority of these trophies, and other free games being as strong as they are. Debate me over this later, I will probably put it as number 3 and number 2, but for this video it ends up as number 4. In top 3 the games pretty much become interchangeable and they can be anywhere really. But to keep an order, here are the top 3. Number 3 is Ratchet & Clank for the PlayStation 3. Wonderful game, amazing gameplay, level design, gun design, music and characters. The whole package in what is an amazing game. The reason it gets number 3 is because it has the weakest platinum of the 3. It drops down because it has a couple of additional extra playthroughs that is needed to get the platinum. And that was when I did the Infinite Bolt glitch. I would probably still be on playthrough 6 or 7 if I would have gotten the platinum naturally. And that is just what killed the momentum of the game for me, and why it drops down to number 3 like I said. At number 2 is Dragon Star Vanir, the biggest surprise of the year for me. This game hooked me from the first second, and it didn't let me go until I was done with my 30 to 40 hour journey. The world and character is what really makes this game so good. And if you have PlayStation Plus Extra, you need to get around to this one. It barely doesn't get number 1 because gameplay wise it's the weaker one. So therefore, it may come as no surprise that my number 1 favorite platinum of the year is Hogwarts Legacy. Besides the unnecessary collectibles in a generic open world, this game is magical. I lost myself in discovering Hogwarts and Hogsmeade. Walking around looking at all the incredible details was just chef's kiss. Is it a perfect game? No, by no means. There are so many things missing that I wish were in it. But it also makes me happy, because that means that hopefully when we get a sequel, it can add some of those things in. No game this year has made me feel the joy and wonder of a video game quite like this one. Maybe besides Pikmin 4, which is my actual game of the year, but that's besides the point. So here we are, my top 9 platinums of the year and the year in review. What platinums did you get this year? Leave them down in the comments below, and if you made it to the end, let me just say thank you. This year has been crazy for me, and I think that 2024 has potential to be the craziest one yet, both in terms of video and in my personal life. So, I hope you are ready, because I certainly am. On the screen right now is what started this year off and my number 3 platinum of the year. So go there and relive the experience, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!